Hello, I'm Madison Pierce. I am the lead teacher for third grade at Rocky Hill. And this year we've been focusing on literacy and literacy skills. And so at the beginning of the year, we took all of our data from our students and we really looked it over and realized that there was a really big range. And so we decided that in order to close gaps and help students grow, that we would deploy. And so putting students into different classes depending on their levels, but also we decided that we would split the grade level. So we have two teachers, myself and Miss Laura, teaching in tandem, which is first and second grade phonics standards and skills. And then we have two teachers, Miss Clevenger and Mrs. Babetti, teaching literacy footprints curriculum, which is the third grade and above curriculum for students who are on grade level. And so our goal this year is really to close those gaps. It's been nice to see some students that are starting off in tandem, filling in those gaps, learning their phonics skills and being able to make the switch into the guided reading classrooms. And so that's what we're hoping to continue to do this year, is move them over and see all that growth. And so we're excited to be doing that.
Hi, my name is Selena Lara, and I also teach third grade, and I am also teaching in tandem. With in tandem, we each have an aide that is with us each day, and they come in. I have 3 groups, and she also has 3 groups, and with those groups, students are able to be met with every single day, and we have each of our groups for 25 minutes. So 25 minutes, 5 days a week, students are met with an adult, going over their phonics at their level and what they need. With that, when they are not meeting with us for their group, they are doing their independent centers, which is very consistent each week. On Mondays and Wednesdays, they are logging on to Clever and logging on to their digital reader. They are selecting a book that is at their level. They read the book. The book is also able to be read to them. And then they do a comprehension strategy response, which is retelling the story, beginning, middle, end, the problem and solution. They are also sequencing. Once they are done with their activities, which they have about 50 minutes to get done, they log on to Lalilo, which is also phonics at their level. And each week it's the same centers, just different stories based on what we are working on during ELA. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, they listen to the Wonder story that we are focusing on in ELA, and they have either a story map that they have to fill out or a response question that we have chosen. But at each week, it's very consistent, and having the routines in place, students are able to look on the board and know exactly what they need to be doing and where they need to be at all times. And in both of our classes, it's been working very well, and we've been seeing great growth with in tandem and with the phonics that they need at their level.
All right, my name is Savannah, and in my classroom, I'm working on literacy footprints centers and guided reading groups. The cool thing about deploying like this is that in my room, for example, all students are either on or above grade level. This means that they get to have centers that are a little bit more challenging and really push them to go the next step. For example, I have students who are in book clubs, so they're working on texts that are a little bit more challenging, a little bit longer, and they're able to kind of self-run their centers. So our book clubs usually have a leader of the week, and that leader will prompt the other students with deep thinking questions, bring things for the group to write about, and they're able to kind of self-run a center, which is really cool. All of our centers are differentiated based on level. So for example, if a student comes in and they know that they're in group 3, they'll look on the board and say, okay, there's group 3 centers for today, and that might be a little bit different than group 1 or group 5 centers. And then another thing we're really pushing students in our on and above grade level groups to do is to type. So for their writing centers, we really encourage them to type their center out, practice those keyboard typing skills, and practice being on the computer. It helps with their technology literacy, and it also helps them be a little bit more efficient with their work. yeah.
Hi, my name is, Hi, my name is Alicia Bovetti. I teach third grade here at Rocky Hill, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how we plan out and structure our ELA units. The first thing that we do is we take a look at Wonders, and we choose the story that we want to focus on, and we match that up with a priority standard, also with some supporting standards. Before we even start, we also create the CFA, which is the assessment that we all use to kind of progress monitor their progress with the standards. Once we go through the week and we give our CFA, we use the data to determine if we're ready to move on or if we need to incorporate that standard into the next week's lessons. Oftentimes we also collaborate as a team and we create centers during our guided reading time, and the students use that time to practice the standard that they have been working on. Students that have mastered it can be challenged in the guided reading groups, and students that need a little bit more support can work through Freckle, ELA, which is at their level, and you can choose that specific standard. One thing that we do with the data from the CFAs is we get together and we have a discussion about the good, the bad, and the ugly. We also calibrate some scores if we have questions. We refer back to the rubric that we created, and that's the time that we kind of decide what we're going to do from there, either adding it into guided reading, reteaching, or possibly deploying. Thank you.